Colleagues, I suggest you have up to 10 minutes for questions from the floor. I ask you here on the podium to take notes, and then we take a last round of 5 minutes of answers. So then it's coffee break. Let me just work the room from this side to the other. Can we get a microphone over here? First row. Sunglasses, right here. Right here.
I'm Malaku from the World Bank, working for social protection. My view is actually to Samuel and Ephraim. When we talk about the sustainable land management, it seems more of focusing on the cropland-based type of information. For instance, if we take the dryland areas like the pastoral areas, to what extent actually we calculate the loss of the biodiversity, like increasing the invasive plants. You may see sort of forest cover in those areas, but they are not delivering actually the benefit to the pastoral communities. Like the invasion of prosopis, the invasion of Parthenium weeds. How are we valuing actually this and bringing again to the level of the proper sustainable land management? When we talk about sustainable land management, usually it's about terracing, all these things. But the setting in those areas and the type of technologies and interventions is actually quite different. How do you see that?
Thank you. Pass it back. Gentleman, brown jacket. Okay. Introduce yourself, please. It's on.
Okay, thank you very much. This is Jakob from FuseNet. I have two questions. One, from the last speaker, I heard that there is a direct relationship between poverty and land degradation. At the same time, we have been hearing from Niger, while they are showing low things in other poverty indicators, they are showing good things in land degradation issues. So how can we coincide these two things? That's one thing. The second specifically goes to Niger. Why that Niger is showing a good thing on land degradation thing, but not showing the same thing in other poverty indicators? Is this the policy, the government policy issue is really more favoring the land degradation and undermining the other things, or why? Thank you very much.
Thank you. More over here in that half of the room. Please, there in the back. Yes.
My question is on the horticulture.
We hear you. Hold it to you.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm Dr. Mubarak Ali. I was ex-economist in AVRDC, World Vegetable Center. So first of all, I congratulations for carrying out my work successfully, highlighting the impact of horticulture on GDP growth and all that. So, but then I think two things we must highlight, which was not really properly highlighted. In most developing countries, the horticulture area is not more than 7 to 10%. So despite high profitability, there are reasons for not having that. One main reason is that horticulture, most fruits and vegetables are highly risky crops. We estimated the CV and yields of both the fruit of many fruits and vegetables all over the world and found out that they have much higher CV compared to the cereal crops. So once you are risk-averse farmers, they would prefer the more assured income rather than more risky crops. So I think that one reason, and that's why the reasons of AVRDC having there to reduce that risk, to create the technology which can really reduce the risk over time, and you may highlight what AVRDC is doing to reduce the risk in vegetables. And second, I think most of your analysis is piggyback on vegetable analysis, not really fruit analysis. So in fruits, they may not be high income because it depends upon how much discount rate you use. Fruits usually start giving you income after 5, 7, 10 years, right? And if you start discounting it, and if you start discounting high discount rates in the developing country, it may not be high income endeavor or entrepreneur. So in another meetings, it was told.
You have to be brief.
Okay, so just one sentence. 90 per dollar from the horticulture and $600 from the maize. So I think we should do more focused analysis on fruits, and those analysis was true for the vegetables.
Thank you. Let's go over to this side. We start right here. Mr. Karl. Go ahead. You get it right away.
Stefan Krall from GIZ. Two questions to Mr. Puka-Musa. First question, deforestation. If you say you have a low deforestation rate in Niger compared to Nigeria, Uganda, and Kenya, don't you compare apples with peas? Because if you have countries with a lot of forests, I assume that the deforestation rate must be higher than in a country where you cut down already many trees. So if you cut down all trees, your deforestation rate must be zero then. It's a little bit provocative, but maybe you can say something about it. Second question, if you say hunger index is going down, that's very positive. But is it due to the increase of agricultural production per capita or due to the import of products to Niger?
Pass on, please, here. Go ahead. Yes.
My name is Yusuf Abubakar from Agric Research Council in Nigeria. My question is to Samuel. You said going forward, it's important to look at the issues of land degradation in formulation of master plans. And I take it that Ethiopia is one of the countries that already has put together its own national agricultural investment plan. To what extent has the issue of land degradation been incorporated in this master plan, which in a way is really your national agricultural investment plan?
Thank you. There were other hands up. Go ahead, please, sir.
Leonidas Nyongabo from Burundi, the Anglican Church. I have one question for all. We have seen that there is a lot of results from research. Do you have any mechanism to share these results with the government or other institutions involved in the water and the land in charge of water and the land restoration? My English is very broken, but in charge of water and the land restoration in order to take action according to the challenges they have in the different countries. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there brief, burning questions? I see one there. The lady. Professor Birner, go ahead. Anyone who is unhappy if we don't hear him?
Yeah,
you have the last word. No, only one chance.
Is that on? Okay, Regina Birner from the University of Hohenheim. Thanks for very interesting presentations. You highlighted the role of government and government programs and extension. My question is, do you see a role for private sector companies also to contribute to reducing land degradation? You mentioned, for example, the pesticide overuse. Do you see that the pesticide companies have a responsibility there too? Or Central Asia, you could think about mechanization strategies. Does the agricultural machinery industry has a responsibility too? Where you see their role in this issue?
Okay, thank you very much. Well, let me start with you, Detlef. Colleagues, these complex questions will not be answerable in the 1 minute I give you. There's a coffee break, you can talk, you can stay right here and walk out with the colleagues. I think that's more effective, that we listen to the concerns and don't try to answer them all. So pick your favorite questions, 1 minute each.
favorite, I don't know, the most important one, I think, for me, is regarding the risk issue. Matching the risk with technologies, this is quite clear. But what I wanted to highlight with the horticulture issue is as well that a lot of people are doing something in horticulture without very much knowledge. And if you have low knowledge, the risk is higher if you have higher knowledge than if you have higher knowledge. So this means for me really training people all over in the whole value chain is important. That is an issue for the private sector, but also for the public sector to really do something there in that way to reduce risks. And then, of course, also research on technology has to come in all these different types. But really reducing the risk of people doing something without knowing what they are doing, and then compensating with technologies. Thank you.